Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there, welcome back.
Welcome back, guys, and we want to thank our newest patron.
We want to say a huge thank you to Freddie.
Thank you, Freddie, and welcome to the family. Exclusive videos going up each week, only on Patreon. A lot of things happening, absolutely. This is something Elon posted, and he says a friend in LA just posted this. This is what's left of Palisades area. You know, it feels like we're in a Groundhog Day, doesn't it? I mean, it reminds you of Maui, certainly. It also reminds you of some of the other wildfires we have where, it's amazing. Metal melts, even bricks seem to be destroyed in many places, and trees are fine. It's really weird.
Yeah, I mean, the trees and the bushes, they're actually good. And then there's metal and stuff melted right next to them. This is really wild.
Yeah, I wonder how many people are painting their roofs blue in California and all over as we speak. It's sad. It's beyond sad. Again, our prayers go out to everybody in this area. James Wood, the actor, posted it's hard to see everything that you owned, built, etc., just totally be destroyed and no longer there. Memories, it's a horrible thing. This is part of an uprooting. This is part of a scattering. And again, that was two videos we did talking about the scattering of humanity that is, facing us, because it's part of the bigger picture. And these migrations of people from one place to another, they happen all throughout our history for thousands of years. The deeper you look, the more you find that it never really stops. And we were talking to several of our family members. One was saying, you guys have been saying this forever, going back 7 years. You've been saying the same thing consistently for 7 years, and now I'm hearing other people echoing what you were saying 7 years ago. Now, I wish we weren't right. I wish we jumped timelines and we weren't facing what we're facing right now. But, again, 2025 is going to be the most challenging year we've had to date, and it's just getting started. We're only 8 days in. Cell and internet service shut off as people left stranded from the fires, in the fires. This is just crazy. You have people that are trapped inside a circle of fire. Where are they going to go? You have, again, fire hydrants with no water. You have a mayor that's on vacation. Just made it back today. You, in fact, some of this stuff might be in these ones. I'm kind of skipping ahead because it's just flowing from my mind. You have money that literally was taken from Los Angeles County and sent to Ukraine for them to help fight fires. The insanity never stops. This is gone. Look at this. I mean, it's completely obliterated. It's a clean slate, but the trees are fine. And the thing I'm finding is just, it doesn't matter who's posting it. I saw a post from Elon, and the first reply was, Elon, do you believe in directed energy weapons? Do you think they had anything to do with this? And this is just people replying. And I don't know if we'll get tagged with something. 75% Pacific Palisades has been completely leveled. And the others saying, so is BlackRock going to try to buy this property too? It's like there's only so much fluoride in the world.
I know, but they've really used it very well, and they've directed it where they need to, which is absolutely horrible. I mean, these people, their livelihoods, all the pets, people's entire lives just gone, completely gone. This is going to be many generations of trauma, and the children who watch this happen, they're going to go through it. I'm just really shocked at how much foliage is there and how many trees are still okay with things that are just decimated into powder, you know. I mean, let's please, if you guys can take a few moments and just send prayers out this way to these people. These people are devastated. Where are they all going to go? What has happened to the pets? Who's going to ask the questions? Who's going to answer the questions? You know, are we just going to do this roundabout where controllers do what they want and people continue to suffer and no one really does anything? Nothing happens to anyone, and they just continue with a straight face and say, oh, the fires were awful. Too bad about climate change. You know, is that just the world we're going to carry on? And that I get really irritated sometimes too. This is just so bothersome. It's not fair, and it really feels like the cards are stacked against us a lot of the time.
Yeah, you know, and yet this program keeps going strong. You know, they have the time, the money, the energy, the resources to keep layering the aluminum, barium, and all sorts of other stuff up there. Nanu, absolutely. Did you know barium is never found in nature as a free element? Yeah, interesting. Yeah, it's all over our soil samples, and it's a heck of a fire accelerant. You know, it's again, we are all suffering from heavy metal toxicity. And, you know, this is, again, another post that Elon made. Will he speak about the barium? Will he speak, you know, in depth about it? There's a lot of stuff that he likes to ignore, and there's other stuff that he's really good at pointing out. And no water in the fire hydrants? For real? This is insanity. And yet millions upon millions, you know, constantly going to war abroad. And you have reports of looting underway in this area, as it truly is. Again, this post says this is freaking Armageddon. And I don't think this is the last we're going to see of this in this year. I really expect we're going to see quite a bit more of it in this year, unfortunately. You know, here you go. LA Mayor Karen Bass cut fire department funding by $17.6 million months before the wildfires turned the city into a hellscape. Well, the other thing that's interesting, too, is how much money actually from LA's budget ended up going out of the country. Look into that a little bit, too. And just in general, while California burns, Biden-Harris administration announces another $500 trillion in our taxpayer money for Ukraine. Are you kidding? There's people in Western North Carolina that have not been addressed. In Ukraine, obviously there's a slaughter going on. You have a whole generation that's kind of being wiped out because of that war. And you got this strange blue lights. What are these strange blue flashing lights over the active volcano? Could it possibly have anything to do with literally triggering volcanic activity? Would lasers or some sort of energy beams trigger volcanic activity? Any scientists out there want to get into that? And of course, we talked about the home insurance being canceled prior to these fires. The LA mayor sits in Africa, but she made it back today. She did. Meanwhile, taxpayer dollars funding fire departments in Ukraine. This reeks to high heaven. How we have officials that are still in their places, in their positions, still doing this is really beyond me. And then we have reports, and again, there's a disclaimer. This is a citizens science site, and follow no verification of measurements. So, don't take this at face value. However, you do have citizens recording very high radiation readings. Still in Arkansas, same number that's been there quite a few times. And when you're in this area, over 200 CPM, that's the red zone. That's to take notice. This is not good. You shouldn't be exposed to this for long term. From what I've seen, they were worried about 300 CPM in the Chernobyl area. This is more than double that. Over here in Texas, 411. Colorado, 666. Is that a message? Los Angeles, 418 over here. Up in Montana, 626. I can't make it out so good. I think there was another one in, let's see here, in the Bay Area, or did that one go down? No, it's still there. San Jose area, that was elevated. 420. 420? Are they giving us messages? It seems like it. 666 and 420. Maybe since it's citizens, some of it could be taken a little tongue-in-cheek. Montreal, too. I hadn't seen that elevated before. Now, does this have anything to do with the drones? Does this have anything to do with those towers that are everywhere nowadays? What does it have to do with? Or is this just all people playing around and nothing to see here? FEMA has confirmed 3,500 households in western North Carolina will lose their transitional sheltering assistance just days before a big winter storm rolls in. Yeah, there is a weird winter storm that's building. That it's another one where, of course, we get winter storms in the winter, but yet it's just unusual the way it's forming. And that's the thing that people are starting to really take notice of, even those ones that have never been CONS piracy theorists. So here you go. People are waiting in line a mile long for portable heaters and propane. It could be life-threatening, absolutely. You will see temperatures in the teens up in the Asheville area. It's not unusual. I did spend the winter up there. Meanwhile, Mexico's president, what was her name? Claudia Sheinbaum. Yeah, that's Mexico's president. She is turning the tides on Trump with a naming idea of her own. She basically is pointing out the fact that when you go back in time, like this map from 1607, all the current United States, for the most part, was Mexican America. Mexican America, that sounds nice, she said. We could see we are heading for some conflict in this world. It's just being so obvious. And really, in my mind, it's just a cover. It's a cover. And a politician proposes Canada annexes California, Washington State, and Oregon. This is a Canadian politician, by the way. And then we have the Denmark thing with Greenland getting testier. 47's going to threaten Denmark with very high taxes if they don't hand over Greenland. Meanwhile, Greenland is now officially moving forward with their independence movement in its entirety from Denmark. This goes all the way back to Eric the Red. I mean, we're talking a long time, but yet, of course, there's always been indigenous people there, like Inuits, etc., that have been there forever. And it's as if, the indigenous people never count. They never count. It's like they're not even there, as the colonizers just, haggle back and forth over who gets to colonize a territory. That is a reflection of the true control system. Because again, the real control system is not Terran. It's not from Earth. And people are starting to wake up to the fact that, wait a minute, do you think this alien thing is real? Meanwhile, just after 2 p.m., officers stopped and arrested a man who tried to get a machete into the Capitol Visitor Center. This is in D.C. You'll see a lot more random acts of craziness, I'm sure. And Russia's pointing the finger at Israel over Syria. West Jerusalem's unlawful actions pose a direct threat to Syria's territorial integrity, as Israel is on Syria's territory militarily, and have been bombing Syria and Lebanon and Yemen. And I don't know, you could just put a little comma and add whatever other nation I forgot. But that's going to be a lot more of the same in 2025, because again, 47 will back that particular ally till the cows come home. Let's just say that. And this is a Tartarian enthusiast, Buck. He's a good guy. He puts out a lot of good stuff. He's got 20,000 followers on X. I will say it again. If you don't get Tartaria, you'll never get this. The old world airships were turned on us after the last reset. A massive campaign to torch buildings. World War I was perfect cover. Yeah, it's interesting too because, there is the thought that the Civil War wasn't what we think it is. It wasn't over slavery. It was actually a rebellion against the system per se, and the system quelled the rebellion. And then if you think about it in this manner, what if World War I really was in some ways more of a destroy the remnants of Tartaria? 1872, well, he's talking about the 1871 Chicago fire that we covered with that picture of a UFO beaming down a beam of light. Again, the technology that's in play today that they're going to start to show us out in the open, they already have, it was in play in 1872 and 1561, and it goes back in time. Shoot, it was in play in the time of Moses, guiding again that tribe through the desert. A pillar of fire and a cloud. Nothing's changed. And yet, war, what does war do? War is an opportunity to obliterate the past. And, while I don't agree with everything that Buck puts up, and again, we're not all going to agree on everything. I saw a good little blurb that was talking about that, how, you could have 20 different eyewitnesses to a crime. They're all going to have little different details. That's the way things are, and that's the way things really kind of should be, because we are each looking at it through our unique perspective.
Mm-hmm. And we all have to look at this with compassion and understand that we can help and guide and awaken. The problem is the people who went through these traumas right now, they're absolutely traumatized, but usually this is the kind of thing that wakes people up, and they decide they're not going to tolerate this anymore, and they realize there's something very, very wrong with this world that we live in, and we just kind of need to come together, be very compassionate right now, because now there is an enormous amount of healing that needs to be done.
And look at these guys. They're not getting help from fire departments and stuff, so they're filling up trash cans with water from a pool to put out a neighbor's house. That's what we're talking about. This is what it's going to take. It's going to take working at a local level together, banding together, and not using the official channels, because they have their own intentions and prerogatives, and they have their own goals, and we're understanding now that they don't line up with our goals.
Nope.
Not at all. And they will deny, but we know you did it. You did it. Come on. Fess up. Just fess up.
He just needs to be cute.
Guilty or innocent? Well, this one will let get away with it.
Guilty of being cute.
And thank you guys so much for your support. We couldn't do it without you guys. Look forward to your comments. You can come join us on Patreon. Source bless. Namaste.
Namaste.